Hello, friends! Today is the day that Lisa Frankenstein finally hits theaters. This is 100% my most anticipated movie to be released in the first half of 2024. To say I'm excited is quite the understatement, but when I go into movies that I'm really hyping up for myself, I try to temper my expectations, but this one, it's super tough because of the subject matter is totally just right up my alley. Written by Diablo Cody of Jennifer's Body and Juno fame, this horror comedy is inspired by movies such as Weird Science, Beetlejuice, and Night of the Comet. Set in 1989, the film follows an unpopular high schooler who accidentally reanimates a handsome Victorian corpse during a lightning storm and starts to rebuild him into the man of her dreams using the broken tanning bed in her garage. Today, I cleared my schedule. I'm going this afternoon. It's almost time for me to head on over to the theater, but before that, we're gonna have some fun getting ready Halloween style. Okay, I watched it. Okay, let's chat about my first reactions to watching this movie. Of course, I had to treat myself with some T-Bell right after. Okay, so my first reaction is that I really did have a fun time. That was a blast. I already knew just from the trailer that I was going to be in love with the set design, with the costuming, and truly, it gave you everything that you wanted and that you would have loved if you saw that trailer. I didn't look at any extended trailers. I didn't really try to seek out any information. I really only consumed what they showed before movies, when you have those trailers in the beginning. But still, even with that limited knowledge, I still feel like I kind of created the structure of the story in my head before walking into the theater that I had to kind of let go of and deconstruct and just accept that there was something very different going on in this movie than what I had kind of going on in my head as a preconceived notion. But that's not to say that I didn't enjoy what I got. I just found that with this first watch, I was very distracted by having to accept what I thought was going to be going on really wasn't going to be the emphasis of the story. And I'm not going to include any spoilers here, but I think it is really important for people to know that the bulk of the story is after we have the animation of the creature, of the monster. It's not really the process of their animation that is a big part of the story. And for some reason that was in my head as the thing that was going to be the bulk of the movie really isn't. And once I let that go, I was able to have so much more fun. But still, I think it did take me until maybe the halfway point for me to just kind of figure out, oh, okay, this is going to be the tone. This is going to be what we're doing here. This is where I should be suspending my disbelief. So that did take some time and did distract me a bit. And I think also I was just big heart eye emojis at all of the costuming, all of the set design. It's just a feast for the eyes. So there's just a lot going on for me that I for sure need another rewatch to really figure out where this movie lands for me, because for sure I enjoyed it, but I think I'm still maybe a little sad at its missed potential here. If I'm not mistaken, this movie is PG-13. It should have been an R-rated movie, but I understand that they couldn't go to those lengths because it would really alienate their audience, their target audience. They're trying to get into those theaters, which is teens or young adults. But I just really feel there was some missed opportunities there to really go there with the gore and the horror. This to me reads way more like a dark comedy with some slight horror elements, very much in the same way that you see The Corpse Bride or any kind of Tim Burton movie where you have those horror elements, but it's not necessarily gory. It's just kind of in your face, or this caricature of what horror is. It's just kind of goth, it's dark, but there's that whimsy to it, and that movie gave me what I wanted, because we haven't really had a Tim Burton movie in a million years. And so this really gave me my Tim Burton fix, but made it all the more engaging for me, because this is from a women's perspective here. Like, the creators here at the writing level, the direction, all of that is coming from women. So it gave me something way more hearty and rich to chew on when it came to the messaging and the content of this movie. The performances in this movie were phenomenal. It also helps that I don't really know a lot of these actors from anything really. And all of those Universal monster references, like, it was so fun to find those Easter eggs. Another unexpected thing that I did not realize about this movie on the outset, it really focuses on the themes of grief, which, if you know anything about me, you know I really enjoy grief horror, grief themes, and any kind of media. So that was a welcome surprise. And you know, it kind of has me thinking a little bit that maybe this movie could be read through the lens of grief, and how this character has a very tough relationship to death because of what happens in, like, her backstory. And I don't think it's any accident here that there is basically death personified in this story, and how it kind of is showcasing in a very concrete way through the monster, through the creature, that, you know, there is this relationship evolving to death for this main character, Lisa, but which is so beautifully juxtaposed by the whimsy in this film, and, you know, the pastel lacquered everything. I'm already waiting for people to start making the videos that are like, if you like Lisa Frankenstein, read this book. Like, I'm so here for it. And I really hope this movie has its moment, because I want more movies made and funded and, you know, given a wide release that talk about, you know, girlhood in general and the alienation you feel growing up in this society, not having your issues taken seriously. Like, supporting young people in their mental health journeys is still something today that we are, as a society, not doing very well with, and I cannot even imagine having to deal with those issues in the 80s. If you love Tim Burton, you should for sure watch this movie. I kind of gave you my warning so you can adjust your expectations accordingly. It's more a dark comedy with some horror elements. Go in with an open mind about the plot and what it's going to be serving up to you, and enjoy the ride, because it is very unhinged. I'm curious to know, do you have plans to check out Lisa Frankenstein? Have you already seen it? What are your thoughts? I'd love to know. I will see you all in my next video. Bye!